Hey YouTube, Schop here with a review of the Kamen Rider Fourze Module Change Series SP, Kamen Rider Fourze Base States, and Module SP set. So this was the set they released at the tail end of the line to release all the remaining modules that they didn't get to in the normal retail releases. And this itself was a normal retail release, which I find absolutely awesome. The fact that you can get all 40 modules at retail, no exclusive Tamashii Web, Nutso, etc. stuff. Straight up, just pick them up right from the store. So that's really cool. And speaking of stores, special thanks to CS Toys Japan for supplying me with this and giving me a chance to take a look at these really awesome figures. So this set does include a Base States figure, but we have a Base States figure already, Shugi. Yeah, that's correct, but this one's clear because he comes packaged with the stealth module attached. So this is Base States when he's all stealthy. And it's actually a pretty neat little figure. I mean, granted, I wouldn't use it as my sole Base States figure, considering you can see through the damn thing. But it is really cool. Because you can see all of the little insides and the joints and just how hollow his body really is, since you can see my finger through it. But that in itself, I think, is kind of a neat little feature. You can see the insides of the figure and all the little joints that make him work. So that's pretty cool, but just kind of quality-wise, he's the same as a normal Base States figure in terms of the articulation and everything like that. And the stealth module, of course, is removable. You can put it on the normal Base States figure. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that. This guy is just going to kind of chill out back here. Since I do want to accurately show how everything looks, I will be using the normal Base States figure for all of the modules. So here he is. And as you can see, they are the same exact figure, except for one's clear. So like I said, this did come with 20 modules to finish completing the set. And since that's just kind of a big mess to deal with, we're just going to take a look at the modules that is included in here limb by limb. So we're going to start up here with the circle slot and take a look at all of these modules that are included. First up, you have Magic Hand. Just slides right in, like most of these modules do. Has a rotating little swivel joint right there and right there, so you can get all sorts of kind of crazy poses with it. You also have a swivel right there. Unfortunately, these take a little bit of effort to open and close. But there you go. So, quite a bit of little maneuverability on the Magic Hand, so I have to give him props for that. We also have Scooper, or Scoop, or Scoop, or Schopper, Dutch words, but Scoop for all intents and purposes. So that is just a shovel, piece of green plastic. You can shovel stuff up, I guess. So, yay, Scoop. There we go. Some of them like to get stuck a little bit. Alright, next up we'll do Claw. My Claw module is a little bit bent, as you can see here. So hopefully the one that you get is a little bit better. It doesn't really have any sort of movement whatsoever. It's pretty much just stuck like that. Which is fine. It's still effective and looks cool, but it's pretty much just a hunk of plastic. It doesn't have any sort of joints, and that's a bit of a shame. Flash module. Pop right then on. Gives them a bulbous looking little flashlight thing. Does not look up. This is one of the instances where I do like the figure arts better since it had a clear little dome to it. But still kind of neat regardless. Just don't look at it from this angle because it looks kind of bad, I think. But that's what happens with a lot of these. And lastly we have Chain Array. Cast in a weird purple color. Cast on the same color as smoke, actually. So you have Chain Array. It's actually quite a long little chain here. Like I said, I can't tell if this is, I think this is just a coated plastic. I don't think this one's actually metal. But quite a long chain. In fact, it's quite a bit longer than the figure arts release. So you actually have a pretty decent chain on this. And you can, just like my figure arts one, you can swing it around and kill flies with it. Speaking of, rest in peace, that poor little buddy. I'm sure he's dead by this point. So we haven't seen him in quite a while. So let's just move down to the X leg area down here, where we have the smoke module. So that will plug in just like that. Spew smoke out of there. Just like the Figure Arts one, it is just a hunk of purple plastic. Does not do anything in particular. The pen module, something that's absolutely horrible in this release. It is simply just a brick. This part is not painted to look like a paintbrush. It is literally just one hunk of solid plastic outside of this black painted tip right here. So that one's kind of a bummer. I'm not expecting like an actual brush or anything, but at least have this part painted to look like a brush, but that's fine. The stealth module that came attached to the clear figure just attaches right onto that foot. Looks like a jet plane. In fact, if you're really imaginative, you can just pretend this is a jet plane since it looks a lot like one. So doubles as a miniature jet plane. The freeze module, if I'm calling it right, I think I am. The freeze module is basically you get a friggin' cooler on your leg, which is actually helpful in some situations, I think. You could say it's some sort of medical device and sneak food into a baseball game. And like I said, that opens up and there's little compartments and stuff, so nothing fantastical there, but yay, ice. Good old Freeze. Mr. Freeze. Ah, good old Freeze. Anyway, net, which does look quite a bit like a weird spoon, but he got net here. Kind of looks like a bit of like a golf ball too, but that, as with all of them, slides on right there, covers up the foot, and you just got the net feature right there, and that can flip around. He can capture himself. That's always fun. Good old net. Alright, so now let's go over to the triangle leg. So we got water, which gives him a faucet on his leg. Unlike the Figure Art one, this one does not rotate whatsoever or do anything. It is just a hunk of plastic. But hey, you can say, look, I got a faucet on my leg. This is actually how he pees after he has a medical surgery. Not really, but anyway. Spike. Spike is right here, and I think I did that backwards. Yes, I did. So this one's actually a pretty decent module. I mean, granted, it does look a lot like a pine cone, or Pineco if you're a Pokemon fan, but yeah, it's actually somewhat effective. I mean, it makes kicks a lot more lethal. Screw, which is basically a little submarine thing that's called Screw. I mean, that's what it does. It screws, but I don't know, like Sub or something might have been a better name for it. But yeah, that, so he can effectively try to swim now. He couldn't swim before. He needs the floaty module. Aero, which I always forget the name of, attaches right here, and he can make wind gusts. This is basically the equivalent of a fart, except in Fourze module form. So that's pretty neat. It kind of looks like a launch pad, which I guess is probably what they were going for, but pretty cool on that as well. And then the coolest one to go on this foot, I think, is Stamper, which was actually a very ridiculous concept turned into something pretty cool, because when he stamps them, they get the little Kamen Rider Club logo, and then they explode, which I think is an absolutely awesome idea. Plus, this one has a bit of a give to it, so kind of like the hopping module, it actually moves, which I think is a nice little touch, so you can actually do the stamp. I'm expecting the Figure Arts one to just be a brick. So, I really like this module, actually. I wasn't expecting to like the friggin' stamp module so much, but it actually is pretty cool. And then lastly, we have the square port on the arm. We have scissors. Slides right in, and it does open and close. But you can kind of see all the weird plastic color choices they did, with this part being a very soft reddish color, and then the actual base being the same purple as smoke. So that's the only downside of these, is that you can see the weird plastic choices that they made for these. hammer, which effectively does nothing. It is just an orange piece of plastic. Just right there. Little pico hammer. Beep beep. That stuff. So that's pretty neat. I think I like the figure out one more in terms of look. I think it's a little bit bigger, more lethal looking. This one just kind of looks like a, I don't know, kind of looks like a traffic barrel or something like that. A parachute, which sucks, pretty hardcore, because this is all you get, is this block. Basically, it's the brick module. That's all. You don't actually get a parachute effect or anything like the Figure Arts one, which I guess is fine for just standardized posing, but it looks kind of, I mean, it's just a box. It's not doing anything parachute-y. I think it's just kind of a disappointment in that aspect. Medical, which does not have anything removable. It does open up to show a bunch of needles and stuff, but unlike the Figure Arts version, there isn't any sort of removable little needles and stuff on there. Which again just gives him a box on his arm, but at least this box opens and it has needles in it. It's far more helpful than a box that does nothing. And then Winch, not Winch. We all know how that goes. Does have a rope right here. So it's just a little rope material. And it does come out quite a decent amount. The Figure Arts one had interchangeable wires. So this one you can't really pose or anything like that, but for playability purposes, I'm glad they stuck with rope for this. And then you have to wind it back up manually, just by going like that. And there you go. So I actually like this winch module more than the Figure Arts one, just because I like the playability factor of actually having a rope as opposed to the wires. So that is actually it for the modules. There is one last additional feature that comes with this toy, and that is this thing, the Kamen Rider Club flag, which is actually a kind of neat little addition to this. The Fourze Base States can just grip the flag and try his best to have it posed around him. It doesn't have an actual like wire in it or anything like that, which have made this a lot easier to pose. As it stands, it's just kind of flappy, so you get something like this. So if you want to kind of go in and make a little wooden bracer or something and tape it to the back so it's actually standing up like an actual space flag would be, since there's no wind in space, you need that extra pull to make the flag actually stick out. But the fact that they included a little Kamen Rider Club flag for your Fourze figure to hold is a pretty nice touch, and it's actually well made, outside of not having the little bracer for it. But very, very cool. So we'll just go like that. Invisible Fourze can stand there and be all invisible. So pretty cool. Like I said before, the FMCS series is a great line of figures. Granted, you don't get the detail that you would with the Figure Arts releases. The Fourze driver being unpainted and the modules not changing, you get a lot of inaccuracies. But if you're looking for a toy line where you can just kind of have them in like a box on your desk or under your desk or next to you or etc., filled with all of the individual modules and stuff, and just kind of pluck them out randomly, attach them to a Fourze figure, and just kind of mix and match and have fun, then by all means, the FMCS line is absolutely great. You can get this set for a very affordable price on CS Toys Japan right now. They're having a huge Thanksgiving sale, and the FMCS line is definitely a highlight of that, at only 500 yen a piece for the main figures. I believe this one is 1,500 for the Base States figure plus 20 modules. And like I said at the beginning of this review, the fact that you can get all 40 modules plus all of Fourze's normal states for a very affordable price and at normal retail, I think is a very great thing, considering how the Figure Arts line made you buy all of the figures and then module sets, and then they made one of the modules exclusive to a magazine, and then the module set 5 is exclusive to Tamashii Web, and all that. It's a very hassle kind of thing to keep track of. Whereas with this one, you buy 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and this SP set, you have all the forms of Fourze, you have all 40 modules, you're good to go, and it's very fun to just kind of mix and match the modules. And with a set like this, with 20 modules in it, you could pick up just this figure and have a lot of fun with it still, even without the additional 20 modules with the older figures. So there's lots of potential here. Very, very great set that I can't help but recommend. The Kamen Rider Club flag's an additional cool accessory as well. So really cool. You can check out shugenshitobi.com for latest updates on my reviews and hauls. And of course, check out RidersRangersandRambles.com, the podcast bringing the latest token news in the craziest way possible. And of course, you can buy this guy, all the other FMCS toys, and more at cstoysjapan.com. Once again, thanks for this review. So take care and have a great one. Bye.